The universe aligns everything for you the second you take that first step of trust and walk straight forward into the unknown. When you take that leap of faith, miracles happen to you immediately. Everything you want is only one step, one decision, or one walk into the unknown away. And the only one who can unlock that door to paradise is yourself. No one else can do it for you. Let me tell you a story and I'll show you how to get what you want. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I will talk about how the universe will make everything possible for you the second you take that leap of faith and jump into the unknown. If you're not that brave at the start, you don't need to jump, but you can just like tip tap, you know, like take some small steps in order to, well, start unfolding the magic and the miracles which will be found in your own life. Cheers. I'm so hungry. Just a second. So, I will tell you how I did it. Okay? So, let's go back in time a little bit. I was backpacking in Italy with my brother. We had a car and a tent and we were just driving around, sleeping here and there, basically every night somewhere else. And I was very frustrated, grateful for the experience and like meditating and doing my yoga every single day, but I did not really want to be there. I accepted the circumstances, but where I actually wanted to be was I wanted to be on set. I wanted to be in Hollywood. My dream and goal was to become a Hollywood actress. So, while I was backpacking around, every single morning, I would journal down the life I would live to dream. I would like to dream, my dream life. I'm on set every day. I'm sitting in hair and makeup. I'm learning my lines. I'm stepping on set. My scene partners are great. The director is satisfied with my work. I'm living in Hollywood and I'm absolutely killing it. So, and then what happened was, so that was my desire for, in total, like a year. Before the pandemic started, I flew to LA, auditioned, everything. Then the pandemic hit and I took like a year where I was focusing on writing books and then spending time with my grandma, but then everything opened up again. So I was like, okay, I need to get to Hollywood. I didn't know how though, because I had no money, I had no visa, I had no agent, I had absolutely nothing. I had a couple credits, some previous modeling commercial experiences and credits, but besides nothing. But I had my desire and I had the trust that everything will work out for me. So while I was backpacking through Italy, I was journaling the life I wanted to have, to be on set every day, everything I just mentioned. And then I was like, when will it happen? How will it happen? Blah, blah, blah. So because after the backpacking, there was a lot going on in private, so we had to return to Germany, and literally one day later, I was like taking something out of the car, which I forgot, and I ran into a guy from Hamburg. He was like, listen, what are you doing here? I think you need to go to Hamburg. And because I already had built up some awareness and trust into the unknown, I was on alert, and I'm like, okay, I need to do this. So I said to my brother, I'm like, listen, I don't know why, I don't know how, but I need to go to Hamburg right now. He was like, Jen, but you don't have money, you don't have a job. What do you want to do in Hamburg? Where do you want to live? I said, I don't know. So I said to the guy, okay, I'm coming. I booked myself a hotel for like, I don't know, 15 euros, which, yes, sounds unbelievable, but it worked. I arrived in Hamburg and I was like, oh, holy shit. So I met this guy not in a bar, but like in the evenings on the pier. We were talking, he was like, so what do you want to do with your life? What are you doing here? And I saw this guy sent from God, because I believe in guardian angels, okay? The second you know what it is that you want, the universe will send guardian angels to you in form of human beings who will tell you exactly where to go and what to do next. The thing is that our mind is like, but that doesn't make any sense, right? Why would I go to Hamburg if I want to go to Hollywood? But the thing is, the universe doesn't work logically, rationally. It doesn't work like that. You can be in your dream life from one to the other second, and sometimes it just takes some time, and the journey and the way to your goal and dream is completely different than you would have expected, or you cannot even imagine that you couldn't even imagine that it would be like that. So I was in Hamburg sitting there. I said to him, listen, I'm an actress, okay? I already called myself an actress. I have the courage to say that. And I'm like, I want to be on set. He's like, but you don't have a German resume. Like, you have nothing for this. Like, what do you want to do here? I said, like, I don't want to be in German film. I want to be in American film. And then he was like, no, I don't know. I mean, I know some people. I said, like, just give me the email. I will reach out everything. So he gave me some emails. I reached out to them. Nothing happened. Then day number 2, I was like, oh shit, like, how will I be able to, like, feed myself here, okay? Like, how? And then I walked into a bakery, literally, to get a cake because another friend of mine, she was also there. I met her while we were traveling through Italy. So I drove to her place, we ate the cake, and she was like, Jen, what are you doing here? I said, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm, like, trying to pursue my dreams. And then the next day, like, I met that guy again, and I said, like, listen, I need money. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know. And then he was like, okay, let's jump in the car. And then he drove me to exactly that bakery again, where I bought the cake one day in advance, and I already had a feeling for it. And then he's like, let's just ask here. And I asked the lady, I explained my situation. I said, like, listen, I basically have no home. I have no money. I need to work. I'm an actress. I want to be in Hollywood. And then she said, well, if you want, you can start tomorrow. And next to my coffee place, there's a flat which is empty. You can just live there and save some money. And I was like, holy shit. So actually came to Hamburg, had a job. Of course, not what I wanted to do, but I absolutely didn't care. And I had a flat for free. And I was like, okay, this is a line, this is a line. So then it got very, very, very hard because I had to work six days a week, 9-10 hour shifts as a waitress in the busiest coffee place, Hamburg. And I was exhausted. I was like, oh my God, how will I survive this? But on the other side, I also immediately the next day got like a project for film. So I got a script and I was reading the script and I had directors meetings and everything. So I had a feeling, okay, this is gonna work out. And then, I'm not joking, so 4 weeks later, I was still working there, but the first month I was just dead. Like, I was so skinny, I was so everything, so exhausted. And then I got an email from a modeling agency in the Netherlands that they do a catwalk and that they want me to run a show there. And I was like, okay, interesting. So I told my boss, sorry, I need to take 2 days off because I have this casting and I want to do the show, everything. So I drove to Amsterdam. And I did the runway show, opened the show, and there I met a woman, and that woman, she was like, Jenny, you look like you need the sun, like, you know. I said, but I don't know, like, you know, like, where to go, like, I mean, the good thing is I had, like, my first payment from that month, and that was, like, 1,000 something, so I was, like, very happy. I thought, oh, finally, like, I have a little bit of money on my bank account, and because I didn't have to pay the rent, I had, like, 1.5K or something like that. And then in the evenings, I drove back to the flat and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Like, when I imagine to go back to this work tomorrow, I freaking throw up. And then this woman, somehow we exchanged numbers. She reached out to me and she was like, I think you need to go to the sun, as I said. I think you need to fly to Curacao. I was like, Curacao, but I don't know anything about Curacao, right? But I don't know, something inside of me told me to do it. So I booked myself a ticket for like 300 euros. So, yeah, 300. And the next morning, it was Saturday, I flew to Curacao. I arrived, it was November, winter clothes, everything. And I was like, oh my God, so I'm here now. I had nowhere to go. So somehow on Facebook, I didn't even use Facebook at that time. I don't even know how that came together. But I found a guy who was renting like ship container Airbnbs. And I reached out to him and he was like, Jenny, where are you? I pick you up, you can come, there's one free. So he picked me up, brought me there, and I moved in, and I had like money for like 2 or 3 weeks of rent, and then I was literally almost by zero. And And then I was in this ship container. I had amazing neighbors immediately. One of them became my close friend and guardian angel for an entire year. Thank you, Yua, for everything. So I arrived, and then I reached out to my mentor, because without my mentor, Andrea, I would also be nowhere. And if you guys are interested in how it is working with a mentor and how my mentor was able to move me and educate and guide me from being completely depressed and suicidal into being a married, happy wife running businesses right now, then I will make an entire video about mentorship, because this woman saved my life. So back on Curacao, container life, it was not what I expected, but I was so happy to be there. Unfortunately, I got sick immediately because of all the stress. Obviously, everything came out. But I had an amazing neighbor, so he delivered food, everything. And then, you know, it was just like coincidence after coincidence, because I sat there, I'm like, okay, I need to make money to feed myself. And then I'm like, what am I good at? And then I'm like, I love to do yoga and to meditate, so why don't I just post something on one of those local app sites, whatever, like the guy who rented everything to me helped me to teach yoga and meditation. And literally the next day I found people interested in taking classes with me. So I started to teach yoga and meditation while I was still in my head going and preparing myself for Hollywood, becoming a Hollywood actress. And then actually, like, one of the guys who was teaching yoga, he's like, Jenny, I have an amazing house. Do you just want to move in there? You have your privacy, you have a pool, everything. He was like 3 years older than I am, so nothing weird or anything. I said, oh yes, absolutely, of course. So I moved into his place, continued to teach yoga and meditation, and then I met a couple who was running an ashram. So I was like, oh my goodness, I visited this ashram and I was like, I want to be here. Like, I don't want to live in this luxury. I want to be in an ashram to just meditate and pray and find myself and prepare myself for Hollywood and everything. So I decided to move into the ashram. And then my friend, who was my neighbor from the start, came back and a beautiful friendship developed. He was like going through like a difficult period in his life. So he was like, Jenny, can I just join the ashram? I said, well, the ashram is a place for everyone who's ready for it. So he joined ashram. And then we had like 2 extraordinary nice months on Curacao together. Like, he bought a house there, so I helped him to renovate, and on return I got accommodation for free. So can you believe this? Like, my heart, my desire to go to Hollywood was so strong that the universe was making everything happen to get me out of my small little hometown. After I returned from Italy without a single penny in my pocket, I was able to live in Hamburg for 1.5 months, fly to the Caribbean island Curacao, survive there, make it. And then actually what happened was, it was January 15, but that happened a little earlier. So after the new year, I was so like, no, my heart is bleeding. Like, I need to go to Los Angeles. I just felt it. So I reached out to my mentor. I said, like, Andrea, I just need to do this. Like, I can. And then she was like, you know what? I just received XY amount of money. Do you just wanna take 10,000 and just, girl, go and live your life. Go get your dreams done, everything. And I was like, amen. 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 Yes. Oh my God. So literally, you guys, 2 years after I failed in Hollywood for the first time, 2 years later, because I didn't give up, no matter what was going on in the world, no matter how less money I had, I was capable to buy myself a ticket and an accommodation for Los Angeles. I was going nuts, you guys, nuts. I booked everything, couldn't believe that it's happening. By the way, throughout all these years, I was constantly auditioning. I was constantly reading scripts, preparing myself, writing screenplays, just everything I could do and you can possibly imagine that I want to do or could do to prepare myself for becoming an actress, I did. And then, listen guys, so I jumped in the plane to LA. I was gratitude overload. I arrived in LA and 2 days later I was on a big feature film set. I went nuts, okay? I went so nuts. And on that feature film set, I met a guy who was in an acting class, method acting class. And back then I was, well, a method actress. God knows what I am right now. And yeah, I just arrived in LA. I wasn't sad, and I took acting classes, and from there on I was just constantly working exactly how I manifested and imagined it before. I was almost on set every single day. I was in hair and makeup so much. I was dressed in so many nice different clothes and vibes and looks and everything, and it worked. So here's the thing, you guys. I cut my story here because I just wanted to show you how it's possible without knowing how, without knowing when, without having any resources besides the resources in your heart and your imagination, that you can make it. Because I made it from, it took 2 years in total. So I made it from no money, nowhere. I come from like the smallest country town in Germany you can not even imagine unless you know Germany, okay? And I made it to a massive American feature film set, and it was $1 million production. What the fuck? So it is possible. And right now I'm kind of like in the loop, or I don't know, like I don't really know what I'm doing right now, where I want to go, if my dreams are still the ones I had, you know, because yeah, I don't know. But then I heard this sentence, actually my husband said it to me. He's like, when you're nowhere, you will go somewhere. Because I feel like I don't know, you know, I don't know anymore. I was always so in love with acting and in love with people and sharing these stories, but the entire journey, it was like so, I don't know, like extremely hard and destructive at times, and I just don't know if this is my path anymore, you know. But well, yeah, of course sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, when I watch a movie or just see a trailer, I'm like, wow, I want to be that girl, you know. So God knows, I give it out of my hands. If someone wants to work with me, or better to say it like that, if God has this plan for me, I deeply believe in my heart that it will happen to me anyways, sometime, when the stars are aligned. But to come back to the point, whatever it is that you want to do in this life, you will do it. It doesn't matter where you are right now. Remove everything, remove limitations, remove how, remove when, and just focus on what it is that you want, and then write down as if you have already received it. And believe me, the universe will move mountains for you, and then your only responsibility is to be aware, live day by day, and realize when the universe is opening a door for you. And it can be a whisper, it doesn't need to be a scream. It can be a stranger approaching you in the grocery store. It can be an article falling down or out of a book and you see it and then you know. It can be a fridge magnet you've never seen before. It can be anything, literally anything. An email with a weird name, anything. Because once you set your inner heart, your compass, the universe will bring everything to you, will help you align and help you to get there. So this is how the universe works. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I would love to hear like coincidences, miracles, alignments, and unexpected surprises the universe brought and what to you and what you have experienced so far, so that we can share our experiences and learn together about this beautiful universe, the cosmos, how energies works, everything. Well, thank you so much. I would love if you like and subscribe my channel so that we can grow, learn, and heal together while we're inspiring one another. Mwah.